Okay, here. What a wonderful, cool, but nice April days, April 1st day. Welcome everybody to Innervision FM. We're gonna have a really packed show today. I mean,
Yeah, we sure do, Johnny.
a
Today in
lot of
Innervision
stuff.
FM News, we've got just a bunch of different topics.
Hmm.
First off, looks like we're going to talk a little bit about April Fool's Day. For our resident time traveler in the Philippines, hey Joe,
Hmm.
April Fool's has already come and gone. But for us, there's still a couple of hours left. So let's go through a few pranks here that were played upon the social media world today. Social media went wild when reports surfaced today claiming that Elon Musk bought TikTok and subsequently deleted the platform. Could you
Yeah.
imagine waking up to
Oh man.
just
Yeah.
imagine waking up to that, just frantically checking your TikTok, making 50,000 a month or something like this on TikTok, and he deleted what?
Oh man. Now, I don't know if this is a real or not. I was sitting around with some older guys and they said that he bought NBC. Now, is that an April Fool?
You
That
bought
could have
what?
he bought NBC.
MPC,
No,
MPC.
NBC,
Oh,
the tele
NBC.
yes.
Um, he's been talking about buying NBC for a while. Um,
Now that could have been an April Fool joke too.
that could have been.
So so I was listening to these guys that they were like all of them like either in the 70s, 80s or something like that. And oh, and yesterday this is crazy. Yesterday was Cesar Chavez holiday and kids were off school. And
Right.
yesterday, this guy is he's 87 years old. He has a lot of stuff in the back of his truck. It was sitting in the front of his house, and some kids came by and stole the stuff inside of his truck.
What?
And I'm thinking like and then this other guy said, well, now he says, because he knows where the guy lives, he said, put put your truck in I guess behind the fence and lock it up. Don't leave it out in front anymore. But can you imagine? You have a day off from school. You don't want to go spend it with your friends. Instead, you go, you know,
Eating so.
get in trouble, stealing stuff out of the back of a truck. It's like, ah.
Well, they're
So
trying to pay their way to school.
I paid the way this guy.
Pay their
For,
way through school. That
for
leads us a little bit into the second April Fool's prank. Looks like Taylor Swift was in the news today. Gonna
hmm,
release a heavy metal album
yes.
featuring Metallica and Slipknot. They're gonna call it Swift Destruction.
Hey, that's really good. Yeah, I like that. I'll buy. I've never bought a Taylor Swift album, but I would buy that one. That
I
would.
tell you, the thugs of these days are nothing like the gangsters of the of back in my day. Um,
Well
you know,
done.
they will definitely get themselves into trouble, and they will definitely get themselves uh, busted. I mean, they're just not they're not built, they're not cut out. They're too soft.
Hmm. Yes. And number three. Now, see, this one is believable because he did do a. I don't know if it was a country country song or a country poetry, or what. Maybe he was just smoking his strong uh, doobie because he says like he says Willie Nelson has the strongest doobies ever, right? So for him to say, well, maybe I'll come out with a country album, you could believe that Snoop Dogg might have did that. I mean, he did reggae, he did gospel,
Yeah, he
he
did some
did
gospel. I mean, man, I was super surprised when Snoop Dogg came out with a gospel album. I was like, whoa.
That
yes.
one country star that they did an interview with him and talked about Willie and his dope.
Yeah, yeah.
He said he woke up later and he didn't know what happened to him.
If you watch the biography of Funkadelics, back then, this one lady said like she gave Clinton gave her some sniffs, and then she woke up the next day. So that's, I guess, stuff like that has been around for a while.
Yeah, quite some time. It's very prevalent, always been prevalent. Hopefully, some of this craziness will get reined in when the money starts getting regulated. Uh, a little bit of segue, or a little bit of a side note, I should say. Yesterday, Donald John Trump signed an executive order concerning ticket scalping, concerning just basically how the money is made within the music industry.
Oh, and hidden fees as well.
Yeah, there's a
And
bunch of hidden fees.
I thought Biden did something, or was that just all talk and no do?
So he was going to address a lot of this stuff. I think he stacked too much on his plate. What with the Jello and the pudding and the other stuff, and
Ice
And
cream.
ice cream, yeah,
ice
ice
cream and the
cream.
Coke in the White House, and did I say that? I think he just had a little too much on his plate. He meant to get to the Snickers bars and make them bigger. He meant to get to the concert music industry and shore it up so that people, if they had to pay $300 for a ticket, they were going to get their money's worth. Within the music industry, what does tend to happen is when you're signed to a record label, oftentimes that record label will negotiate a contract with you, often in their favor and not in the favor of the recording artist. This is why independent recording artists are, starting to really try to branch out with the advent of digital audio workstations, YouTube, other social media platforms, AI. This is making it a little bit easier. And the music industry is kind of already on its heels, so to speak. Because right now they were the only game in town. Now that we have all this technology, we can at least try to, make a little bit of money, keep a little bit of extra money for ourselves.
Back, a friend of mine, Kid Rock, sometimes referred to as Bob. I know him as Bob, but he's been a good friend for a long time, many years, and he's been after something that is for the good of a lot of people, including, in particular, the public, and having to do with ticket sales and scalping and all of the gouging that you have been reading about. That's gotten worse and worse with time. And I didn't know too much about it, but I checked it out, and it is a big problem. And I think you've been trying to get this done for 20 years or something. He said Trump got it done in 2 weeks. But we came up with a very serious EO, and I'm going to sign it now, and maybe I'll ask you, Will, to explain a little bit about it, please.
Of course, sir. So this is an executive order, as you said, that deals with the ticket reselling business. For fans of live entertainment and for entertainers as well, the ticket reselling industry has become a huge issue. These people use bots and computer algorithms to buy up huge blocks of tickets and then jack up the price so that fans of live entertainers like Mr. Ritchie, I almost called him Mr. Rock, don't have access to concerts the way that they should. And when they do, it's at exorbitantly high prices. So what this executive order does, it charges the FTC and the Department of Justice with rigorously enforcing laws on the books in collaboration with state attorneys general that have power over consumer protection and other people who have the power to really crack down on this issue so that entertainers and fans won't be subject to these abusive and oftentimes illegal practices.
Good. Thank you very much. Bob, you want to say something?
Yeah, it doesn't matter your politics. First off, thank you, Mr. President, because this has happened at lightning speed. I know you I want to make sure Lena Haba Alina Haba gets her credit too, because I know she worked very hard on this, but thank you for making this happen so quick. Anyone who's bought a concert ticket in the last decade, maybe 20 years, no matter what your politics are, knows it is a conundrum. You buy a ticket for $100, by the time you check out, it's 170. You don't know what you can charge for, but more importantly, these bots. You know, they come in to get all the good tickets to your favorite shows you want to go to, and then they're relisted immediately for sometimes a 400 or 500% markup. And the artists don't see any of that money. And, you know, ultimately, I think this is a great first step. I would love down the road if there would be some legislation that we could actually put a cap on the resale of tickets. And I'm a capitalist and a deregulation guy, but they've tried this in some places in Europe, and it seems to be the only thing that's us as artists be able to get the tickets into the hands of the fans at the prices we set. I'll be the first one to say, and I know the president doesn't like when I say this, but I'm a little overpaid right now. It's kind of ridiculous. I would rather be, you know, a hero to working class people and have them be able to come attend my shows and give them a fair ticket price. I can't control that right now. So hopefully this is a step to really be able to make that happen. I know a lot of artists and a lot of fans who love concerts and music are going to be very appreciative of you taking this.
I was
Okay.
actually very fascinated that this executive order was signed yesterday. Yeah, I could see some pros and cons. What do you think, Johnny?
Well, you know, at first I thought Ticketmaster was charging us like $17 over, and then I
Mhm.
listened to that again, and it said $75 on top of whatever the ticket is.
It's up to $75, sometimes even more. Some of these surcharges and other things that are tacked on, they're truly hidden fees. If you go in and try to figure out what these surcharges are for, you won't get an answer. I mean, you'll just get charge for this, duty for that, duty. Oh, shoot. I'm going to have to bust out one of my old ticket stubs. This is from a number of years ago, but yeah, stay tuned. I will see if I can get some of the extraneous surcharges that are put onto the tickets when they're sold.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm a big fan of deregulation, just like what Kid Rock was saying too.
Yeah.
But you know, for too long, the music industry has had a stranglehold on the recording artist, and that's why folks like Tom McDonald, independent recording artists, are getting huge
Yeah.
because technology is allowing for this to happen.
And I remember what didn't he was the time he used to sell his tickets for $20?
Yeah, $20, $17, 15. I think the first Ozzy Osbourne concert I paid $15 in 1984. Go see him. Shoot. It's
Yeah.
expensive. There's just no getting around it. I think the last concert I went to go see, actually it was at a comedian in a nightclub. $188 for a seat at a George Carlin show just before he died. And that was exorbitant. That's about 10 years ago, more, 15 years ago now. Shoot.
One time back in the late 70s, be 79 probably, I was still in the Navy, and we went to Miami. We just rented a car and went to Miami. We were on a workup cruise, and we went to see the Babies and Styx. And there was a scalper out there selling tickets, and my buddy, he was just a smooth talker. He fast forwarded the conversation and got 3 tickets for the price of 2.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And the scalper had no idea what happened to him. He was just confused.
It reminds me of a time when somebody was trying to buy some scalp tickets, and he decided to pull can you change 100 for me? And his guy's like, no problem. What do you need? He's like, I need 620s. And the guy's like, okay. He gives him 620s for the 100.
Oh
And
man.
then,
Oh
yeah,
man.
it's pretty insane.
Yeah. And I remember, okay, like in 1968, because I just heard this, they used to bring concerts into Denver very fair. It was like $6 a ticket.
Yeah.
And they move up to the Rainbow Theater in the late 70s. I got like a $10 ticket. I saw Prince, the Pretenders, and what was it was another band that had a female singer, and I love their sound. I bought their album, but I don't remember the name. And of course, Chrissy Hine, she made it out, but this other group, which was just as good, but Chrissy Hine made it out, Prince made it out, but this other group didn't.
Don't yet.
No, no, no. It wasn't Joan Jett. It was she had blonde hair because I don't think Joan Jett had blonde hair. And it was like, she had an all-guy band, of course, but I don't remember her name. But it was like some great music. I mean, great sound. Whoever produced the album, great. But Christy Hine, Prince, they made it. And this lady, no, I bet I gave all my old albums to my brother. I bet I could go back and find that album because he kept all my old albums. And it's like, but great sound, but two groups made it. The other one went into
Pretenders.
ups. Yeah, the Pretenders made it, and this other one just didn't make it. But they had a good sound, but who knows how that happens, right? And so it's like, so $10 you could see like actually like 3 bands for $3. And the only
I
reason
used
that
to go to the stadium concerts a lot, and you'd always get 5, 6 bands for
for
the price of one. $25 got you an all-day ticket for. I mean, the last one we went to that was in mid '80s. I guess it was in Adams County, I think, Adams County Fairgrounds.
Huh.
wow. And I
REO
remember,
Speedwagon and a bunch of them bands were there.
I don't know if I've ever seen REO. Now, like I remember, I told you I saw Rolling Stones, Hart, and George Thorogood at the Boulder Stadium, Folsom Field.
Mm.
And I don't remember how much the tickets cost. I don't know if they cost like $25 or what, but it was like a very good show. Very good show. But, but now, how about this story? Okay, do you ever like look back and maybe like the first lady that you had kids with and think about like, what if I would have picked this other choice rather than her? Then how much of another scenario would it be? So Kanye West was saying that he has second thoughts about having had kids with Kim Kardashian.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
And I'm thinking, okay, well, like how she got into stardom, and it wasn't her talents.
Yeah, right.
Well, at least on the screen, it wasn't her. Well,
Right.
I don't know. It wasn't her acting. It wasn't
Yeah.
the singing talent. It was some talent, but it wasn't those talents. And I wonder if he was smoking that wacky gacky or whatever or something that he said, hey, this is a good idea. And seeing what happened to the other sisters with these basketball players and stuff like that, you sort of like, did you think that Kim was different? And she's getting restraining orders and putting restrictions on how long he could spend with the kids because he's making music with them and putting them in the recording studio. And it's almost like, now that is weird. That's almost like she married a hip hop mogul, and now she's kind of restrict his being a mogul. So, I often thought like, because someone I know very well said, if you hadn't married that short lady, your daughters wouldn't have been short like that. And I thought about that. Like if you get with someone who's tall like you,
Right.
do your kids come out tall like them? And then my friend said, no, it was probably she didn't give him enough vitamins to grow taller. But I'm thinking like if you have short genes, you just have short genes.
Kendrick
Oh,
If
Lamar
it
is
was
also
you all the
back in.
time, you turn out to be the freak and be tall.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So what were you saying, Alan? About what?
Kendrick Lamar is
Oh,
also back in the news. Uh, why is he back in the
well,
news?
he
Super
got a
Bowl.
bunch of FCC complaints.
Well, the Super Bowl happened a couple of months ago, didn't it?
Yeah. So I guess he got the most FCC. And then, I saw this interview with Kanye West just
Mhm.
before I mean, it was bizarre. This interviewer, and he's driving there to interview Kanye West, and he said, Kanye just texted me saying he's leaving the country at 10 o'clock. If I want to interview with him, I got to get there at 9:20, unless I want to go to Japan with him. Now I'm thinking that the guy probably didn't have a passport, because I think you need a passport to go to Japan
Sure.
China.
or China. Yeah, you need a passport. I know, yeah, but he was mixing all of these. He was going to go to Asia and just in general. So the guy had to get there early, and then he was videotaping and got there at the hotel. Said, now, and the guy at the door says, "Do you know what floor he's on?" He says, "Not really." And so the guy, so you think he would text him and say, "What floor are you on?" And so the guy says, "Oh, go down this hallway, go to the left, get the elevators, fifth floor, right?"
Right.
Right. And so, he did that. So I'm listening to this kind of like bizarre interview, and then he brings up, oh man, I went the long route. He brings up uh, the Super Bowl game, and he said the reason they got this guy to do the Super Bowl because um, they didn't want someone that people knew a lot. They wanted someone that a lot of these maybe sports fans didn't know a lot. And he says otherwise they would have got me to do the Super Bowl, and they
Well,
wanted someone that they could pay less and who the audience didn't know as much.
so they
Right?
got Kendrick Lamar in there.
Yes, yes. And I didn't quite understand his well, his theme of thought was, I'm so fantastic, I'm so wonderful. It was like a big ego trip type of interview. And it was kind of hard to follow. And my mind wandered a few times because he went so many different places. Uh, but anyway, so they got all these complaints, and I'm not sure why. I understand that, he was doing that song, Not Like Us, which he was accusing this other guy of being underage dater. And but the audience knew the words.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. So I can't understand that other part where he said, well, they got someone that was less fantastic than him, because when they said A-list, the audience went along with that. And I
wow.
never heard the song until after that particular show. And I said, well, what's the song about? Because I heard about it, but I never listened to it. And then I said, oh, okay, I understand. And and so anyway, so that's that. So anyway, Kanye's regress. Now, what did he really mean by that? But saying so, okay, okay. So we got that as a. Hold on a second.
It's like Will
Okay,
Smith is in the
Will
news.
Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. Now, remember that this lady yesterday who was running for um president of, I don't know if it was Paris or what, but they said that they suspended her for 5 years, and Trump said that it sounds like a lot like America, where she's the most popular, but she can't run for the next 5 years.
Hmm.
And so
Interesting.
so Will Smith can't go back to the Academy Awards for the next 10 years.
So he's banned?
He's banned for 10 years. So is that saying that the left wing, when they see that you're popular, they ban you to get you out of the way for either 5 years or 10 years?
Interesting. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about this censorship gig on either side? Censorship is, in my opinion, not the best way to go.
Oh yeah,
Certainly, control over large population is just,
yeah. But
but
that is a little bit better because I think was it in 2013? I was in Moscow and there was this guy running against Putin, and he was very popular. And so he
right.
went out to dinner with his girlfriend about 10 o'clock at night, and someone had drove up and shot him in the back.
Yep,
So,
now he's sleeping with the fishes.
so that was at least, banning you for 10 years or 5 years is, I guess, is better than being shot in the back and getting put out the race that way. So I don't know. I'm just thinking like just comparing like how the left wing do it compared to really authoritarian type of regimes. Or you can even say Venezuela does probably the same thing. If the army comes in and there's a coup, they throw out all the other guy, and then they take power. God. So it's been 2 years since he slapped Chris Rock, and I think I saw Chris Rock's brother. He said he was his brother. I don't know if Chris Rock has a brother who's a comedian, and he said, "Hey, if that was me, it would have been a fight." Because I guess I guess because he was a little bit bigger than Chris Rock, and said that wouldn't that be good to see a brawl on the
On national television and
yeah.
one of the awards ceremonies.
Now that
Be
would have been
interesting.
that would have been a WWE.
So what do you figure? Is Hollywood ready to bring him back? Maybe as a wrestling star. Who knows?
Yeah,
They
true.
they have a makeshift ring with ropes.
Yeah, because like the WWE, it's all a setup anyway. They pick who's gonna win, so why not? That would have been good TV. They would have
Joe
been
Biden is also in the news. Oh, wait.
no,
Biden. Let's look at this again. Who's Joe Budden? Looks like he's a rapper, and he's in the news. Tell us a little bit about Joe Budden.
okay,
Let's be confused with
okay.
Joe Biden.
So you have a backyard. Is
Mhm.
your Bible, and most places they have these high fences. So apparently, I guess if you wanted to in your backyard, in your pool, which
Mhm.
probably these guys have,
Mhm.
if you wanted to go swimming El Natural, you could.
Okay.
But if your fences are not high enough and your neighbors, for whatever reason, is don't have enough to do by looking in their yard, they look over at your yard and see that you're in the El Natural, and then they call the police to complain about this.
Okay.
Which I think the way I think of it is like, yes, you have eyes, but you can choose what you look at.
Well,
And if a person is in their own backyard, I'm not sure why that would bother a neighbor looking over the fence of someone in their own backyard. Or
wow.
maybe they just don't like the guy or the other parties that he puts on. So this is just one way they could say indecent exposure or something.
What do you folks think out there in the Innervision FM universe? You think Joe Budden should put his butt away?
Yeah.
He didn't have a privacy fence, or he did have?
Um, it didn't really cover that because like I said, I've been out there before, and a lot of these places they have privacy fences.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking like these neighbors are just too active looking over the fence with this other guy doing whatever he's doing on his property in his pool or hot tub with whomever.
See,
And
we've been built 7 foot tall fence in around our place, but the neighbors to the north of us, or to the northeast of us, have, I mean, they have like a 3-story hotel looking type house.
so
So
it's
privacy
higher.
fence do absolutely no good.
You can see right over the fence. Don't forget to leave a comment down below.
Yeah.
Do
And we
you
need
have
your support too. Go to our website, innervisionrecords.org, and support our show. Well, and you were
Yep.
about to say, did you have?
I was going to say, do you have just $7 for just $85 a year? $7 a month. You can become well, for lack of better terminology, a preferred member of Innervision FM. You'll get access to the newsletter that's sent out right before each of our podcasts that we have. You'll get access to the early mailings, and oftentimes, as we do, we'll put together some concerts and things like that. So you'll get some early access to that. I'm also working with Johnny J on some additional stuff that we'll
Yeah,
put up on the
exclusive stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't
YouTube.
know why GPS chat only put my name. I always say it's our show, and they only put my name down there. So it was supposed
Oh,
to
you're
put.
the president and station manager. We're just cogs in a wheel, cogs in a wheel.
So it's like, so it
You
wasn't
got a
me.
better word.
Yeah,
You got a better
yeah.
word.
I just now caught that. I said, "Where's Hey Joe and LNC?" So it's like it wasn't me. Yeah,
Me.
yeah.
Stay
So
tuned for tomorrow's show. We're going to have a bunch of really cool stuff. Got the tariffs that are going to be slated to start taking place. Donald John
tomorrow,
Trump is
yeah,
calling tomorrow Liberation Day. We will
yeah,
see.
yeah. And as also like leave in the comments like which one of these stories were more shocking to you, if
You're
any
right,
of them.
right?
So hey, so anyway, so we can call it a night, and you guys have a fantastic day.